Although, Jeremy, potentially, whilst obviously things are, it's a bad situation at the moment, when hopefully the virus has passed through and football returns, it will be, heightened joy. That, the sort of picking up the league where it was, or the Champions League games resuming, and that's what you've got to try and cling on to, the excitement that comes with it resuming at the right time.
Yeah, because I think we all know how much we enjoy it, we miss it. Weekends are governed by football, always has been all my life, but right now, it isn't about that. The day that it comes where we can go, yes, we can watch football again, fantastic, that's what we all want, and that's what we're all working towards. But right now, we're just guided by the government, by people that know more than we do, by experts. I mean, and there's a lot of experts out there right now, and I just hope they're giving us the right advice, because if they are, then hopefully 6 months' time we can maybe start to have major tournaments, major competitions. But right now it's just about people's safety and making sure that the environment is there for them to enjoy it. And I've mentioned it before, and I want to go back to it about smaller clubs. And I don't think you was in with the conversation, Adrian. I think that this is so important now that the Premier League clubs are going to be fine. They're all going to be fine once this is all passed. My worry is about the smaller clubs, League Two. Even the clubs that have had to work so hard to be in the league. We've got to make sure that we make those teams or clubs, we give them all the financial help we can, and that will come from the Premier League. There's so much money in the Premier League, and somehow it's got to filter down to make sure we keep these clubs alive, because it's important for the communities to have these smaller clubs. Yeah. That's where people enjoy going to watch football, and I hope that they're going to set aside something like that, because it's not all about the big players. It's not, and there's a lot of footballers earn a lot of money.
You referenced the solidarity there, and Chefrin, the UEFA president, he referenced solidarity in his words today, and I think as an industry we've all got to come together in that regard. Absolutely. And try and help you. I think it's such an important point you make there, Jamie, about that football clubs are at the social fabric of our towns and cities. People live for that every week. They want to go and watch it. Take that away, and it has a huge knock-on effect for the well-being of the town.
Pubs around the clubs,
exactly,
everything. Restaurants.
Local suppliers, the people who supply the pies for everything that's a knock-on effect. Football clubs outside of the elite are living on a really tight cash flow basis. Take 2 games away from them, and that's a massive impact for them.
That's ordinarily, Adrian.
Yeah.
Never mind in this scenario, they're only 2 or 3 games away from going to the wall, half of them.
Well, because right now, Jeff, we can't guarantee when football's going to be played. But what someone could do is come out and make a statement, is when we can play, we're going to make sure we can do everything in our power to make sure all the smaller clubs that have lost vast amounts of money in this period are going to be given money to make sure that they keep the clubs alive, that all the people that do...
Isn't it?
That's a commitment.
The Premier League clubs are meeting on Thursday.
And the EFL clubs are meeting tomorrow, I believe.
And they'll take their lead. How important do you think it is then that when the Premier League speak on Thursday, that they make some sort of pledge, or will the silence be deafening if they don't?
I'm not convinced that the Premier League will make huge statements on Thursday. I've got to be honest with you. I think that will be more of them setting the ball rolling of their planning, and I think, to be fair, it's also got to be the Premier League in conjunction with the FA and with the EFL as well, because that's... And it might be that they've got to look at UEFA in that. I mean, I've heard discussions about maybe government support for the smaller clubs. I think that's a big ask at the moment with the situation that we're in with society as a whole and the NHS and everything like that, and people's businesses going out of... or people losing their business.
I understand. Football clubs are businesses,
yeah,
though,
but I
as well.
do think when you're dealing with an industry that is a multi-billion-pound industry in reality, and you've got people will be
funds within.
People will naturally say that there is money in football to support these clubs. However, we have seen some very badly run clubs that you could have loaned money to clubs previously, or given money to clubs, and they would still run themselves into the ground. We've seen that in recent weeks and months. So I think these are, again, unique circumstances, but this is part of the discussion that's got to take place over the next few days and weeks about how can we do everything we can as a national footballing organisation to support the clubs that are there and protect their well-being. But again, it's just not easy to say there's going to be X immediately.
No, of course, yeah, it's got to go to the right places as well.